Rizza Islam here. I just had to break this down because I've been seeing a lot of things, and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and stop allowing people to Europeanize and take virtually everything that belongs to us. I find it interesting that everything that has to do with African spirituality, they have to make it look evil and demonic. Then after that, they steal it and make it their own.
This will come up later, but the whole reason he's made this video is because Beyoncé has been accused of promoting Satanism due to a video she made of her wearing horns on her head. He then takes this as a personal attack against himself, as well as African culture and the black community. He blames white people for why Beyoncé was being accused of promoting Satanism, as if white people were the only ethnic group that was doing this. And this caused him to go into a banter about how Marvel and DC have stolen ideas from African culture.
You all love Thor. Oh yes, the Europeanized version of the African god of thunder and lightning by the name of Shango. Yep, you stole it.
Notice that he's using a picture of Chris Hemsworth's portrayal of Thor because he either wants you to believe that the Marvel Cinematic Universe was where Thor was created, or it could just be because he simply doesn't know his ancient European history. I'm willing to bet on both. Thor's true origin is actually based on Norse mythology, not Marvel comics. As much research as I've done on this Shango character, his inception was only as old as about the 1300s, and Thor was worshipped by the pagans and Vikings of Scandinavian Europe during the 5th century, possibly even longer than that. This would indicate that Thor actually predates Shango. It should be noted that many cultures throughout human history have had their own versions of deities and gods that control thunder and lightning, much like Thor and Shango respectively. But Rizza has not made any mentions of that.
Wolverine! Oh yes, the Europeanized version of the African god by the name of Ogun, the god of war, iron, and metal. Yep, you stole that too.
Outside of the two characters being affiliated with metal, the similarities end there. Wolverine is a mutant who was a military science experiment that went rogue. Ogun is the god of steel and war, and he's been depicting wielding swords. Wolverine, on the other hand, has metal claws, and Ogun doesn't. It's not like Ogun was some mutant that had a metal skeleton, healing powers, and had metal claws protruding from his knuckles like Wolverine. If that were the case, then we could say that Wolverine stole from Ogun. I have a feeling that he added Wolverine to this trio because he was wanting to pad the list of comic book characters that had a shred of resemblance to African culture.
You even Europeanized Batman. Oh yes, good old Bruce Wayne. No, it's actually Kamazotz, the ancient mythological Mayan bat god. Kamazotz literally means death bat. You stole that too.
Hold the fuck on. Did Rizza Islam really just use pictures from a Batman Expo Center to push his bullshit argument?
You serious?
The cowl shown in the pictures he's demonstrating were created in 2014 by artist Kimball Estudio, which in turn was put in the display at a Batman exhibit sometime in 2015. Now, here's the backstory of both Batman and Kamazotz. Let's start with Batman, shall we? Batman is a mortal human being whose real identity is Bruce Wayne, a billionaire who dresses up like a bat and battles against the criminals of Gotham City. When Bruce Wayne was a young child, his parents were murdered right in front of him, and this led him to train hard and use his money to make gadgets to help him defeat criminals. Now, let's hear Kamazotz's backstory, shall we? He's a giant bat monster. Straight up, that's it. That's all. Outside of the fact that they're both affiliated with bats, there's no similarities. So when Bob Kane and Bill Finger created Batman in 1939, I'm pretty sure they didn't even have a clue on who the fuck Kamazotz even was. And even if they did, that doesn't mean that they stole their ideas from it. Also, hey Rizza, didn't you say that white people stole from Africans and not the Mayans? Why are you white knighting for them? Oh, that's right. It's because you're reaching and you want people to think that white people are just evil and steal everything from your culture.
Crazy because you even have some people out here thinking that Beyoncé was depicting the ancient goat god of 1307 of the Knights Templars named Baphomet, satanic god, but she was actually depicting the ancient Egyptian or Kemetic god by the name of Hathor or Het Heru, the mother of all mothers, the god of love, music, beauty, etc. Not European, African.
Now here we are going right back to Beyoncé. Beyoncé was being accused of promoting Satanism when she wore horns on her head during a video. Seriously, that is the reason why Rizza made this embarrassing video, because she wore a headpiece that looked very satanic, according to some people. However, Beyoncé is being accused of Satanism and a member of the Illuminati as well, and it's not a new concept, and it didn't even start with her. Many other sources, including musicians, the record label industry, Hollywood, and literature, have all been accused of promoting Satanism and the Illuminati. So to pretend like it's only white people picking on her is a bit of a stretch. Rizza, if you really want to go after problematic people stealing from other cultures, you should have went after the actual bad guy here, and that is white supremacy. Not only is white supremacy problematic for white people, but it's also problematic for everybody. They have been guilty of stealing symbols from other cultures and using them to push their message of hate and division. Whatever do I mean? I'm glad you asked. We all hate the infamous swastika, right? This may be old news for some, but let me tell the very few that do not understand the backstory of the swastika. Before these piles of shits used it as a symbol of hate, the swastika was actually a peace symbol in Buddhism and Hinduism culture. Not only that, but these scumbags have also appropriated symbols from Vikings, the Scandinavians, Europeans, and other parts of outside of Europe. You could also done a little bit more research and exploit the real bad guy, but instead you cherry-picked bad examples, and for some fat white guy had to call you out on your blatant lies and deception.